Hey guys, back here today for day 43. I'm in the Chuck Taylor All-Stars. It's 37 degrees out here. This might possibly be the dumbest thing I've ever done as far as it relates to walking. I have done a lot of stupid crap in my life, but because of the heel pain that I have as a 46-year-old, and I was making strides and making it feel better, and then I come out here in these things. These shoes were invented over 100 years ago, I believe. We've had a lot of innovation in shoes since then. Maybe I should be out here in a set of moccasins. You'll hear a lot of criticism from modern athletes about the old guys that used to play professional basketball and how they used to be plumbers and carpenters and all that. And maybe that was true, but those guys had to be tough as nails to be playing a fast-paced game in shoes like this. Those dudes were probably stuffing pieces of pillow inside their shoes or something, like finding some feathers or sticking them in there or something. Don't get me wrong, I think the shoe looks awesome. It's that unmistakable classic look. It'll never go out of style. It's always awesome. But you pull an insole out of this shoe and all it is rubber. It's just hard rubber. For that outsole, it's just harder rubber. So whenever I was taking this insole out of the shoe, I was going to replace it with the orthotic that I usually wear, and I put it in there, and I noticed that in that forefoot, now all I have is super rigid sole rubber. That's it. So I had to make a choice. Do I put the orthotic in over top of the provided insole, or do I take the insole out? And in that case, I'm leaving it in there, and I'll deal with some heel slip. But because of that, and I'm wearing toe spacers, these shoes are not very forgiving for any of that. Found yourself in a pair of Chucks. It's basically the most bare bone shoes you could really find yourself into. But I've always said this: if there was only one pair of shoes that I could pick to last me to the end of time, it would probably be this one. And it certainly does not feel good or anything like that, but it's based on longevity and the durability. I've had these shoes for well over 10 years, and this is how they still look. I think they still look phenomenal. I'm not concerned as much with the materials breaking down over time, although all materials do, but it's not like modern foams that you might have to be concerned with kind of falling apart after a while, especially when you look at some modern Nikes that literally have not lasted me 2 days, and these things have lasted over 10 years. In case you didn't know, Nike bought these guys out, and so anytime you see anybody rocking any Converse at all, it's because Nike took them over. So at least they have preserved some lineage, and without just killing it off. And at least you can say that Nike does make a durable shoe, even if it is a Converse design. So yesterday I ate great throughout the day, and in the evening I was out and I had a late night meal, and at that point in time it had not settled into my brain that I had a weigh-in. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. There was a wild coyote walking ahead of me, and I was probably only about 100 feet from it, and it just kind of went in a different direction. Thank God I didn't bring my gun today, but damn it, I will now in the future. That right there has about wrecked my whole morning. That sucked. All I had between me and him was a picnic table. Anyway, so late at night I had a late night meal, and it was from Sonic. It was a smash burger, and I thought, well, I'll cut the ketchup and the mayo and have that. But then I had the salty tots, and I had a dirty Dr. Pepper, medium. I usually have like an extra large, So I knew the meal was pretty trash, but that I was doing better in comparison to my old self. As I was consuming the meal, it dawned on me, oh crap, your weigh-in is tomorrow, which was this morning. So I finished the meal, and I just had to know, what am I up against, So I got on the scale last night, and it was 258.4, and that is is about two to 2.5 pounds greater than where I was last week. And so in desperation of my weigh-in for this morning, I thought, how do you lose 2.5 pounds overnight? And of course, Google recommended a bunch of crap that I wasn't going to do, like taking diuretics and all of that stuff. But the advice that I did take is I put on my coat and I got on the treadmill, on the exercise bike, and I burnt as much as I could go. So I burnt like 600 calories last night, and my legs were trash, and I was done. And I went to bed like that, no water, and went to bed with my coat on, with it over my head, keeping myself warm. And so the loss of the water weight brought me in exactly where I was last week. 256.1. Was it cheating? I don't know, because some of that, I had just ate a big meal the night before the weigh-in. So there's 2 or 3 pounds right there sitting in the gut. So the body processes and all that. Really comes down to just that weigh-in. And so that's where I was. Considering the trashy diet that I had this week with the Super Bowl, Texas Roadhouse, pizza night, and then that meal from Sonic, that's actually quite amazing. The saving grace is that throughout the week, I didn't add any extra empty calories. No other sodas, no other late night snacking. It was really just kind of confined to these big trashy meals, but it was enough for me to break even. Now, I have been at 256.1 for 3 weigh-ins now. So that's not a weight loss journey. That's a plateau journey. And that's not good. So I definitely have to kick it up an extra notch. And that's exactly what I intend to do. So I am not really looking forward to a lot of these early 1900 shoes, But I feel like it's important to work through the shoes that I have from kind of a historical standpoint to see kind of how those innovations within shoe technology have changed the game over time. Please put some respect on the names of all those early era basketball players who literally were limited by the footwear they had available at the time. They would never do this, but I would love it if there would be an NBA game where every single player on that floor had to use the old Chuck Taylors exactly as they were back in the day. No accommodating insoles, no cushy feels inside. No, just the straight up bare bone shoe that those guys had to play under. It would be an awesome nod to history, and it would sell a hell of a lot of Converse, but they will never do it because it would wreck their feet, and those are multi-million-dollar feet. They could do it after the season when there's not as much on the line, and they could structure it like almost like a pickup tournament where different guys across the league could team up, play against other guys across the league, and just have them sign on. It would just be for the love of the game and a nod to the players who came before. Call it the Chuck Taylor's Legends Tournament with the Chuck Taylor Legends Championship, and I think you could sell a lot of tickets, sell a lot of shoes, preserve some history throughout the game, and maybe earn some respect from the old players once they realize kind of some of the other stuff that they worked with. Like, take away the 3-point basket too during that tournament. Take it away. Make them each play 1/4 of the game with the old rules, with the old balls. Couldn't even bounce. And with the peach baskets. No dunking allowed. Get a ladder out there. Get the basket out of get the ball out of the peach basket. Now, I'm not saying we have to go that old school, but it'd be nice if we had some old school officiating that would actually call a travel once in a while. All right, guys, I've been out here 45 minutes, and it's time to wrap this thing up. Thank you all for being out here with me, and I'm glad we got up to 19 subscribers. I know it's a small number, but I literally expected no one to subscribe. I was just chronicling the shoes I have, and it turned into more of a weight loss journey thing. So thank you guys. Hopefully I'll be out here tomorrow. All right, later.